Crave news, real news, no bullshit.
Adam Schiff's California Congressional District, what a total Schiff show. But now he has a real challenger. Check this out. Back in the day, California was a great place to get a good job, start a business, and raise a family. Everyone dreamed of moving to California. California truly was the land of opportunity. A booming economy, great schools, low crime rates, reasonable taxes, and virtually no homelessness. Now, California is swimming in debt, ranks 48 out of 50 in education, has record crime, unbelievable homelessness, and taxes and regulations that are so overwhelming that it's nearly impossible to start a business, let alone get a job. People are literally fleeing what was once the most admired state in America. What happened? A political class emerged that care more about their own careers than they do about the state. They have literally abandoned the people they represent. One of the worst offenders is Adam Schiff. Schiff, who was elected to Congress 20 years ago, is the congressman for the 28th District of California. That includes once iconic areas such as Hollywood, Pasadena, and Burbank. That was then, and because of Adam Schiff's lack of leadership and total disregard for the people of his district, this is now. The 28th District of California has literally turned into a total Schiff show. Joining me today to talk about bringing California back is businessman, attorney, and respected leader Eric Early. And Eric Early is the first credible candidate that Schiff has faced since he was elected 20 years ago. This is live from the Schiff Show. This is right here in Adam Schiff's district. Adam Schiff, a lot of people don't realize it, is a congressman from Los Angeles, California. This is actually his district right here. It's unbelievable. What used to be a beautiful, pristine area is now this. Running against Adam Schiff this time, the first time he's had a credible candidate, I think, ever since he's run, Eric Early, a terrific guy. Eric, great to have you with us, man.
Thanks for having me, Ken. I will say the first time he ran in this district was against a guy named Jim Rogan 20 years ago. Great candidate. Since then, not much.
Since he's been elected, has never had a credible candidate.
That's true.
Yep. And Eric, it's great to have you running. I've known you for a long time. You built a great business here in Los Angeles. You're an attorney. You've got a great law firm, businessman. You used to be in the film business as well, as everybody in Los Angeles. Look, this is your neighborhood. This is your district. And I recall when I came to Los Angeles back in the 90s, this was pristine. This was absolutely pristine. Yeah. What happened?
What happened was political positions really by the people in control of our state and the Adam Schiffs of the world, where they believe it's compassionate to let people live like this. And I don't believe it's compassionate to let somebody live and die on the street. And, I don't know if you know, Kent, but Schiff's been in office now for 20 years. 20 years ago, not one of these folks. We did not have homeless in this district. We did not have a homelessness problem. We have tens of thousands of homeless in this district right now. Even in this day and age of COVID-19, we've got these poor folks living out on the street.
It's amazing to me. And you take a guy like Schiff, who is highly connected in D.C., he's got billions, literally billions of dollars at his disposal to bring back to the district, and he has done nothing for our brothers and sisters out here on the street. What do you attribute that to? I mean, why?
Well, first of all, Adam Schiff has abandoned our district for 20 years. Adam Schiff could care less about what we're looking at right here behind me. He talks a big game. As the Wall Street Journal said, the editorial board 2 weeks ago, as for Mr. Schiff, no one should ever believe another word he says. That's a direct quote. Adam Schiff could care less about thousands, tens of thousands of people in our own district who are living and dying on the street. Could care less. That's your reason. He's back in D.C. thinking he's making a big name for himself to try and, run for higher office. And that's one of the things I'm going to prevent in this election.
Eric, I remember when you first started to run.
Yeah.
I mean, the absolute purpose of a congressman is to go to DC and do things that benefit your district and bring it back. This district has gone to hell in a handbasket.
Yep.
I mean, we're sitting in shit and piss right here, and needles and drug paraphernalia out here.
Let me tell you something.
Why Schiff lets these people suffer.
What you just said is exactly right. A congressman or a congresswoman is supposed to go to DC, represent the citizens, our constituents that live in the district, and do whatever we can to better the lives of the people in our district, to help our people. Unfortunately, we've been stuck with this guy Schiff. He was a carpetbagger from day one. They beamed him in from some other part of the state to run here. Even as we sit here now, he apparently has an address somewhere in Burbank. The guy doesn't live here. For this entire COVID situation, he's been 3,000 miles away. Rumors are he's been living in Massachusetts the entire time, maybe in DC. He is a carpetbagger. He doesn't care what's going on here. And when you look at his record the last 20 years for the people of our district, you would be shocked. So yes, I want to get to DC. I care about the people in the district. You know, as you know, Kent, I built a great law firm. We're a nationally recognized law firm. I'm the managing partner. I've got a great family. I'm not a politician. You know, I could do like so many people do and, you know, retire and live a good life, but our people need help here. Our government needs help, and our country needs help. And I care deeply about these folks and so many people in our district, and we need somebody who cares again about our district. And regardless of any of the complete BS that comes out of Adam Schiff's mouth, judge the guy by his actions. And you want to judge him by his actions? Look at what's behind us right here.
A lot of other issues here in the district too, besides this. You've got infrastructure issues, you've got crime. One of the biggest is this inability now for people to work as independent contractors.
So true,
and our
buddy.
district your district has Hollywood in it. So let's start with the independent contractor thing first. What is an independent contractor, and what has happened here in California, and what's happening nationally to stop people from working?
There are over 150 professions where independent contractors work. Here in our district, where we have the film industry, so many people forever, their entire career was an independent contractor, meaning you'd work and you'd edit, let's say you'd edit an episode of a show. You'd work as an independent contractor, meaning you were not an employee. You'd do that show, the show would be edited, you'd go to another company and edit somebody else's show. So you were not working as a permanent employee at a company. You were going as an independent contractor from job to job. Or let's say, and the same thing with screenwriters, for example, and many people who do lighting and grip work and all these things. People work on different projects. They get paid differently from different people on different jobs. Same thing with truckers. Many truckers work as independent contractors. They get paid per job. Translators, court reporters, the list goes on.
Uber drivers, people lawn mowing, lawn services.
Uber and Lyft, big time. Freelancers, independent contractors.
Carpenters, plumbers.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So the legislature, signed off by the governor, supported by their comrade Adam Schiff, came down with a law last year that has banned independent contractors around the state, with certain tiny exceptions. So unless you can get hired as a permanent employee now, which so many of these people can't, they can't work in the state of California. But being an independent contractor is also a lifestyle. It's a freelancer, it's an independent contractor, it's a gig worker. Many people work from their homes as independent contractors. They have to care for their kids, they have to care for their families. And what we've witnessed is big government, and I'm such a fan of small government, has now come down, swooped in, and taken over their entire lives. And many people who are registered as Democrats, as independents, are furious because their life has been completely impacted in a terribly bad way. And my opponent, Schiff, who acts like he supports the independent contractors, freelancers, and gig workers, because he always acts in false ways. What so many of these great folks don't know is that there is a national version of this bill pending in Congress right now, which would do away with independent contractors around America. And guess who one of the co-sponsors of that national bill is? Adam Schiff. So, I'm doing my best. I get elected, I will do whatever I can to make sure that national bill never passes. and I will do whatever I can to bring as much pressure from the federal government to our state government to get rid of that outrageous bill. I'm a huge supporter of the people who oppose that AB 5. But let's talk about other big issues that you're referring to. You know, crime is on the rise out here, badly. My opponent supports defunding the police to support a group that I believe is really aligned with anarchists. You know, I believe in law and order, and I support our law enforcement. You will never get control of crime again unless you support law enforcement, and you don't support defunding law enforcement. And, you know, here's another thing. We got a bill out here called Proposition 47, which Adam
This is a
Schiff
California
supports.
bill. Yep.
Adam Schiff supports this one. With Proposition 47, a criminal can now steal up to $950 on each crime. So they can do three separate crimes a day, up to $950. They get nothing more than misdemeanor, more than a traffic ticket. And so these criminals know the law better than any of us.
So as an example, somebody can walk into a convenience store or the Gucci store or the Nike store. They can steal up to $950 worth of stuff, and it's less than it's a misdemeanor, like a traffic ticket.
Every day of the week.
So I could go out and steal. I could do 10 jobs and steal $9,500 worth of stuff.
You can. Don't get any ideas.
Dude, I need some new shoes.
We got a lot. There's a sneaker store right around the block. Don't go there, because I'm going to go report you the minute you go down there.
You know
this
what?
This is what happens. The criminals, they know it right away, and they go and they make sure they don't take anything over $950. And so, for example, we know somebody who owns a nail salon. She's got all the the polishes and the product that she uses on a regular basis. These people go, they get her to do their nails, right? Then they walk, they steal all her product, and they run out of the place. She can't report them because law enforcement is busy worrying about people who are committing felonies. These people, everybody knows nothing can happen to them anymore. These crimes are going off scot-free. Another example, if you drive to San Francisco these days, you park your car in the street in San Francisco. If you come back and your window has not been broken into and your stuff not stolen out of your car, consider yourself having a lucky day. It happens to people constantly up there in so many places in our state. The reason is Proposition 47. It's an outrage. It's part of this criminal's paradise, this culture of people running our state, and the Adam Schiffs of the world who agree and support every single move they're doing. They all believe this is quote unquote compassionate. I don't believe it's compassionate when people's businesses are being taken down like that, when criminals are allowed to run free, when people like these poor people here are allowed to live and die on a street. You know, I could go on and on. I mean, there's other big issues right now. You know, when I get elected, our district has taken such a huge hit, as has all of America, from COVID-19. Businesses have completely collapsed or are teetering on the verge of collapse. So many jobs have been lost. We need somebody with my experience, 27 years as an attorney, representing businesses, big and small, and people around the country. Somebody like me who can sit down, roll up our sleeves, meet with all the stakeholders, the business owners, big and small, the workers groups, the teachers, the nurses groups, the law enforcement, the lenders, the developers, the realtors, everybody, the independent contractors, roll up my sleeves, sit down and work and do what it can take, bring in the federal government's power, see what we can do to rebuild our economy out here in this district. Adam Schiff, one, doesn't give a darn about our district. Look at his actions for the last 20 years. And two, he has none of those talents, none of those skills. Adam Schiff is one of those guys who should be put in a back room somewhere in Washington, D.C. to dream up hoaxes. He doesn't get along with people. He doesn't play well with others. He cannot do any of this stuff that I'm talking about, even if he cared to do it.
Well, I mean, look, the fact the guy's got access to billions of dollars for his own district, and the fact that we're sitting here looking at what we're looking at, and again, we'll show you the streets here in a little bit too. The streets here are just nasty as can be, and he's not bringing it back. The infrastructure, the sewers, all kinds of things that are money available.
Infrastructure is a big issue for me. Big issue. Our whole district has been crumbling for 20 years.
But again, he's got billions of dollars at his disposal to bring to this district. Why not?
Yep. And I'll tell you something, Kent. I'm fighting for every American citizen of every race, creed, color, and sexual orientation. I'm fighting for our entire community to bring back our district, to make lives better for everybody, to bring jobs back here again, and to give everybody just a great life so you can live your life the way you want to live your life.
Yeah, live life on your own terms like you're
Exactly.
supposed to.
Yeah.
Another thing too is you take a look at the empty buildings here. I remember years ago when I moved, got to California in the 90s,
Yeah.
you couldn't find an empty building in this district. It was thriving, it was booming. People have left. They've gone to Texas. They've gone, again, from this district. They've gone to Texas, they've gone to Florida, they've gone to Nevada, they've gone to Arizona. And now you've got, just boarded up buildings that will never, ever be filled again.
So many great people have left our state. And one of the main reasons is, besides the crime and the standard of living that's just going down, and the educational, the school, the grading of our schools and such, which is like 48th in the nation now. Our taxes are out of control. Our state income tax is just nuts. It keeps going up and up because of these people in the legislature. The regulations to open up a business are crazy. If you're a business owner, it's almost like you feel like your state does not want you to ever open a business. It's the small businesses that are job creators in this state. Rents out of control. Housing costs. One of the reasons why houses are so expensive. Somebody's done a study on this, and it's crazy. Something like 30 or 40% of the cost of a house goes to paying off for all of the regulations and licensing requirements and everything else that our home builders must go through to build houses. We need to deregulate that kind of stuff. We need to cut tax again and stuff. We need to make it a favorable business environment again. But unfortunately, so many people, run to these other states you've been describing. I'll give you an example. I made a call. You called to make fundraising numbers. I'm dialing a number. It's a Los Angeles number. Guy picks up. He says, "Hey, Eric, I'd love to help you, but I live in Texas now. I moved to Texas." He said, "With the money I'm saving on income tax alone, I'm paying for 2 of my kids' college educations. The money we spend here on income tax alone, people can pay for free college education in another state. Why would they not move?"
Well, think about this. I mean, you got great economists like Art Laffer, one of the greatest. And he moved from here to Tennessee.
Yeah.
Andy Puzder, here to Tennessee. Art said he paid for his house literally in a couple of years just with what he was paying on taxes here.
I had dinner with Andy Puzder a couple of years ago. He said, "Eric, when I moved to Tennessee, I felt like I moved back to America again."
Yeah.
So listen, I'm fighting for our state because I believe firmly in California. This used to be the Golden State, and I believe we can make it the Golden State again, but we need to change the way government works in this state again. It's a gorgeous state, and there's still so many great people here, and I believe we can bring it back, but it's going to take a fight. We need people voting, for the right candidates again,
Right.
People who care about serving the people who care about these issues that I'm talking about, not these two-faced, really terrible people like my opponent Schiff. And one of the things that's so hard, Ken, is much of the mainstream media out here wants to keep the status quo, and it's tough. They don't want to see this change we're talking about.
Well, for them, they've all got pipelines of money.
Yeah.
So, I mean, when things change, their pipeline of money dries up.
Yeah.
It's really, really amazing how it works. For people who want to register to vote, how do they do it here in the district?
Well, to register, you go to the registrar's office, or you could that's even a hard way to do it. You just dial up the Secretary of State's office on Google it, California Secretary of State, and follow the prompts to register to vote, or go to Department of Motor Vehicles and register to vote there. But, probably going online is the easiest way to do it.
Great.
Yeah.
Eric Early, you're one of a kind. I'll tell you what, you've taken on a huge, huge, huge undertaking with this thing.
And
I know it because I know you do, and you love your district. I know that.
And I love my district, and you know what? I've got kids, and I've got a grandson, and I've got a lot of friends who have kids, and you have kids, and I'm fighting not only for us here, but I'm fighting for the future, for our kids, for our grandchildren, for their kids. We got a lot of work to do here, but we got to get it started ASAP.
Got to do it. Got to get more guys like you to come out and actually run for office. People who want to serve the public and not try to, work their way up the ladder in D.C.
Yeah.
We need people who are going to bring the money home, people who are going to fix these streets, help our brothers and sisters out here on the street, and bring California back to the Beach Boys days.
Back to fun, back to opportunity.
Back to the California we all know and remember, and the images we remember. That California, that great, gorgeous, coastline, and the inland parts, and Hollywood, and just what it was. And this was the land where dreams came true right here. It's one of the reasons I came here. It's a land of opportunity and dreams, and it's not like that anymore. We've lost that in the last 20 years. We can bring that back, Ken.
Yep, just got to elect some great leaders.
Yeah.
Eric Early, great to have you with us. This has been live from the Schiff Show. It's Adam Schiff's district right here in Southern California. Adam Schiff's district right here in California, the district that Adam Schiff represents. This used to be pristine 20 years ago when he got into office. This is what he's done to California. Let's change that up.
Yeah.
If you agree that it's time to send Adam Schiff packing, push the like button and share this with every single one of your friends.